a bag and chosen
How many muskets are in that bag?
high quality muskets of the Empire.
We got these.
How many muskets are in the bag?
There's 6 total.
Does that include the one Gorgon stole, or no?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say there's 5 total.
Okay.
He takes a look at him and goes, ugh, these are the new makes.
Indeed.
He looks at them and goes, though they made some improvements off the Mark IIs, there's a couple things that is going to make the sale of these painfully difficult. He holds the stock of the musket up to your eyes, and you can notice that there's a very careful serial number etched in the stock. He then shows you the base of the barrel, where it's also etched in. He shows you a third place where the numbers are all marked.
I see.
He says, there's no chance in hell I can sell these in anywhere in Tor. And they're in so well that it's hard to turn these things around. You basically have to recast the whole gun from scratch, which make these almost worthless.
Can you not simply scratch the numbers away?
He says, you can tell they've been tampered with. They have a very specific make, model, and shape to them. There was an issue where a lot of our officers were selling their muskets after the war. If, let's say, for example, a lot of them should have gone back to the armories. So if an officer left with an honorable charge, they would mark these as resold and update the master register. These are pretty much worthless, but I might be able to smuggle them out and sell them overseas. I'd be willing to give you 15 gold per musket.
Well,
isn't that like stupid fucking low?
it makes sense to me though.
Right, like he's not going to be able to.
He can't turn them around.
Can I do like an appraise to see if that's like?
Yeah, you can do that
to see if he's.
Yeah, I'll try to do that too. If I can find my character sheet. Skills.
You don't know how you've never tried to sell a black market gun, Sveltna, so you don't. You're not sure.
Yang's got an 18.
You think it's a reasonable price? He could probably be negotiated to go a little bit higher, but you do think that the price he's you remember coming in through the ports. And coming in through the ports was a hassle. Like, there's a lot of searches. Like, smuggling is not made easy, especially in a major city like this. And with the local watch and the order kind of looking for magical contraband. And it would only take, like, one of these muskets to get the ship impounded on the captain.
Okay. I would say... I understand. Perhaps then instead of gold, you could provide some information in exchange. I was told you were a man with eyes everywhere. Surely you must know of very peculiar items that might come your way.
He says, I've been told of a few things, yes.
Perhaps items of a magical nature.
He
Trindle
says,
speaking in Hobgoblin.
He says, can you tell your friends to be a bit more direct? I know we're in a secure area. Stop beating around the bush.
I'm looking for a sword.
He says, what type of sword?
A curved blade in the style of Orun. The blade itself is green like jade, yes.
He says a jade green katana. He says magical or non-magical?
It is magical.
He says, well, there be's your problem lie. Not a lot of people in these parts, even down on the black market, most people deal magic items direct. They don't normally pass through a fence. Sure, I've got a couple buyers that would want it, but something that specific, if that came through, that definitely did not come through me. But you should be advised that there's a couple people in the capital who have kind of a fancy to both magical collections. I can point you in the direction of some other people. One person you might be considered talking to is a man by the name of Virgil Rudder. He's a bit of a collector of magical equipment.
Okay.
I see. He has a home here in the city.
No, he's out in Dunford Mills. Or sorry, Dunford?
What's
Dunford Mills? Or yeah, just Dunford. Yeah, he lives in Dunford. But yes, I've sold him some trinkets and some knickknacks before. Never have anything of that scope, but he seems to know the network. There's a couple go-betweens I could point you out to, but most of them, an item that specific, they wouldn't be talking to. I think your inquiry would be best reserved for the capital itself.
What do you mean, the capital?
Why, Torresian City, the capital of the Tor Empire. That's where a lot of the old wealth is. And you see, it's the old wealth. Do you know what I mean when I say old wealth? People, the nobles, the power people who make this empire run. A lot of them prefer these kind of things. They prefer their collections. They've always got a constant status pissing match going, you see. Here in the city, people prefer gold when they're trying to evaluate their social status. Who has the biggest house? Who has the most impressive shipping empire?
I do understand how pride can motivate some individuals. Do you have any other people that I could speak with who might not be Virgil Rudder? Or perhaps even people who might know him, might know the things he might have traded with.
He says you could ask around in the dock district, but I think a lot of those gents wouldn't give you the time of day.
Well,
but
I would
tell you what. If you check back in with me in a week, you could commission me, and I could perhaps be persuaded to try and find some information for you.
I look at Thurindle. Do you know if he will be here in a week?
He says, "Don't matter where you are. I can get a message to you."
Really?
He says, "Of course."
That seems... well, what guarantees do I have that this is truly your ability and not just empty words?
You got a nat 20 on your thing. You know that Hobbs is generally well respected. He also has contacts within the postal system, which he uses to often communicate illicit goods over the vast Torresian Empire.
Okay, so he's connected.
So you have no suggestions other than Virgil for magical wares?
He says, at this time, not at the moment. If I was a little bit more aware of it, I can't just, magically locate a magic sword. This type of thing is sensitive. It takes time. You said it was, did you mention that it was stolen from you, Lamont?
No, I did not.
He says, it's going to take some time and some investigation. You leave me some money down front, I'll see what I can do for you. If I have more, I'm going to up my price, but I do need an incentive to get going.
I understand. Of course, every job should be paid. More information, if you are to look for it, it is known as the Sword of Songs. And speaking of price, what kind of money are we talking about?
He says, depends on how hard you want me to look.
Well, how about I give you a price, and if you find it, you'll get more.
He says, well, what's your price?
Well, I don't know.
Yang starts counting on his fingers and toes.
I do have. I could pay him like
Sure.
50 gold or some shit. I don't know, or
Oh, that's
100
pretty
gold.
good.
I'll start with 50. How about 50 gold?
he says, well, I'll look extra hard for 50 gold. He goes into, he's got like, when he lifts, he's wearing kind of like a kilt. And when he lifts kind of his coin pouch, in behind he pulls out a brown sheet of paper. And it says, it's got a name on it. He says, if I find anything, go into any post office and look for, and ask them if they've got any mail for this person. This slip will get you in touch with them.
Okay. What's the name?
The name on that one is Gregory Welsh.
Okay.
Did you write that down?
Well, yeah.
He says, so I'll see what I can do, especially for this much. I'm sure we can arrange something. Now, the muskets. 15 gold per musket.
Seems agreeable.
He says, done. And he takes the muskets and pays you 15 gold per musket outright. So 15 times 5, I believe, is 60? 65, 75. No?
You guys sent like the worst person to negotiate because Trindle doesn't really. Gold isn't. I don't know. He doesn't really barter. So
75, yes.
6? Is that 15 times 6?
Suppose I
You only sold 5. So what I'm going to do is I actually started converting my musket into a pistol, so I'm just going to pay the 15 gold.
I guess that's the way to get a musket for 15
See,
gold.
that was the plan. It was all Drew to only pay 15 gold for a gun.
Drew is famous for that stuff if you pay attention.
So you have,
Oh, we also find slippers of catfall that only fit hobgoblin feet.
yeah.
Aw.
We'll modify
So-
them.
So you don't
I have
know.
craft clothing, I can modify them.
I wonder if Hobbs has an associate call it Calvin.
So
No,
It's
I
a
have-
goblin. It's a
Back
goblin
in-
called
Back
Calvin.
in Holmes' adventure, I started converting it after I found out I was non-proficient. But, yeah. Anyways,
so,
it's going to take me a longest time to fucking do it.
So you don't know of anywhere to purchase scrolls.
He says, do you have a shopping list?
Trindle scribbles down a few titles and gives it to him.
What is on your list?
Off the top of my head, magic aura.
Wow.
Um,
No, it'll just go to PayPal and then we can. keep it there or
the
leave it, doesn't
invisibility one.
Vanish?
Yeah, vanish.
matter.
I
PayPal or mine?
Carl.
So it'll just sit in your PayPal.
Carl, you're
Can we-
kind of
Carl, mute. I'm gonna kick you.
Sorry, I thought I had it muted. Sorry about that.
Sorry, so Vanish, Invisibility, Magic Aura, Vanish.
Yeah. What else? Trying to think. Can I get you like more of a list, like a little bit later on in the game? I'll look at stuff.
Yeah, he says, come back to me in about 5 days' time, and I'll see what I can find you.
Trindle nods.
And he says, you got the gold to pay it?
I sure do.
What? How much does a scroll normally cost there, Matt?
25 for a first level.
Okay. He's going to charge you 35 gold a scroll.
Outrageous. No, that's acceptable.
Okay. All right, let's move to Anna.
Okay. I was sort of offering to bring tea to Nancy if they wanted me to. I don't think anything really happened in my absence.